Oh,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Silent Line Tournament, the finale.
it's the last one.
That's the plan, anyway.
It's so
Hopefully,
final, we're
this
gonna
for
have
this
one fight
tournament,
for each.
anyway.
All right, so you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready to go. Tell me
right.
when to hit play.
3, 2, 1, go. And it's
Yeah,
loading
so
up.
this one, I was like concentrating super hard to beat Young Master when I was playing this, but it didn't work out. So
Yeah, never get caught concentrating.
my bazooka build, which bazookas are ridiculously powerful, but they're so easy to dodge by players, so I'm not gonna bother next time with bazookas.
Yeah, it depends what they're comboed with. Like, I mean, one thing that I recall for Silent Line in particular, using the old MG bazooka combo was surprisingly good. But you kind of had to always catch somebody off guard. But yeah, dual bazooka is a bit difficult to hit with.
Yeah, and he just takes me apart, and you're dead in less than a minute.
Yeah, using the glint combo, as it probably could be called there, with the sniper rifle and the regular rifle. But
Which is weird because White Glint doesn't have a sniper.
he kind of does,
This
does it?
one is one of the. He's actually
It's like
equipped
a
with
midline,
the.
though. It's
Well, he's equipped with the BFF heavy rifle, and then the BFF assault rifle. So,
yeah, and the heavy kind of is almost comparable to a sniper rifle, though. Like, it says it's
almost.
got high shot accuracy and all that stuff. Man, those missiles, though. That tracking is
Yeah,
awesome.
they do. They also do like really good damage, and because he's staying up in the air, his core mounted anti missile defense isn't hitting any of them.
True. Never really thought about that. Not a whole lot of
So
ammo,
yeah,
but yeah, doing a great job there.
they also lock on. They lock on the fastest out of all the missiles, but they're ridiculously heavy, which is annoying.
Huh, I was gonna
I
figure
think
they
this
were
is
gonna have a slow
the
lock. Honestly, never tried them.
yeah. They even they actually have well. In Last Raven, they're back to being slow, but in this game, they're actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
This is the me trying to stay on his backside the whole time, and it worked for a little bit, but
Yeah, going for a bazooka spank there. It's kind of sort of working for a little bit. Yeah, you can't lock with him. Like, you keep having a hard time actually hitting him there. That thing's got deceptively fast turning speed for such a bulky thing too.
I know, which is annoying.
I don't know what his actual name is, but his name should be Pimp Knight. Always should be. He is Pimp Knight. But yeah, he's trying. Like, he's getting you pretty good there.
I'm trying so hard to get behind him again, and he just won't let me have it. And I'm trying to like.
Oh no.
This is where I fucked up and I charged. Yeah.
You're done now. Done messed up. Oh no. Well, surprisingly, he's not punishing it that harshly. A little bit surprised he just sat there and took it. Maybe he was just being confident. But you kind of lost the lead by now.
Yeah, it's. I feel real sad.
Yeah, embrace
And
tears.
he got the triple missile hits to rack down my health, and I couldn't get close enough because he would stun me before I could overboost with that sniper rifle. So
Yeah, that's always the thing with the rifles. It's either you defend against everything else or you defend against the rifles. It's kind of interesting. Like, it was a thing that always came up in Silent Line and Four Answer in particular. But just the whole thing where you kind of usually had to suit your entire defense to rifles if you were going to have a chance of dealing with them.
yeah, Armored Core 4 was a bit more balanced, I think, because everything was a little slower.
Yeah, you could, like, for example, you could always at least get in close with a Motor Cobra or something like that. But that thing was nigh worthless once you got to multiplayer and Four Answer. Single player was alright, but
Not necessarily. Like, Motor Cobra worked best comboing with other rifles and the like. So
yeah, I mean, I had some okay mileage with the quick burst shotgun, but it still, though, like, it seemed much riskier than rifles, just for how much you were getting out of it.
yeah, and here my high act missiles are doing damage, but they're not doing enough damage.
Yeah, that's just
Again,
blanking off his armor,
super heavy bipedal guy.
giving him a couple dents, and that's about it. This is basically okay. Do you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Nope.
Okay, there's this one guy called Mountain in it. Basically, gets killed off, comes back as a freaking super zombie. It's like this 8 foot tall dude in gold armor. And there's this one scene where like a bunch of church guys are threatening him, and they run up and they're like, "Oh
And
yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna
dead.
kill this guy." Hit him in the chest with a mace, and it just gets stuck and dents his armor a little bit, and he just like picks the guy up by the neck and throws him across the room. It was basically that.
That's how it goes.
Uh,
So,
I need to send you a link
alright.
to that scene after this.
alright. I'll have to look at it. So, next up, AO versus Darkslayer.
Waiting for your thingy to move on to the next one here. Alright, so let me know when you're loaded up. I got it ready to go.
Alright, gotta wait for it to load. My internet got a little...
It's all Discord's
Okay.
fault. It ate your internet. I'm sorry. There's nothing
Alright,
left.
I am loaded up.
Alright, sounds good. So as you can see, he's going for this kind of camouflage build right here, hiding in the shadows. Alright, let me know when
Hide
you're
for
ready.
the shots.
Let
I'm
me know
ready,
when you're ready
yeah.
to start. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the final
Alright.
battle.
So this is from AO's perspective. And this is the finale of the tournament, as it were. We're going to watch it from both perspectives to get the full experience of the winning teams, as it were. Or the winning player.
So you think that shuttle in the background's actually recording this whole fight, or it's just kind of hanging out? Or they the guys didn't want to pay for tickets?
Well, considering in Silent Line, we don't... I think the only time we ever go into space is to disable the satellite. Who knows? Maybe there's just AI ACs that are just generated by organic brains in jars, and that's what this multiplayer fight is in this arena.
Oh,
and the
man.
ships just go by. What are these ACs doing? Who's piloting these things?
They are permanently fighting forever. This is Robot Valhalla. That's what it is.
Actually, no, that's Request of F. That video is amazing. I love that video. The Darkslayer trying to get that blade off, and he just can't get it. And when he does, the shield like absorbs all of it.
Like, that's adorable. It's like, thank you for damage.
Like
but
the
no.
shielding, a shield is one of the few ways to actually block a blade attack. At least in Armored Core 2. In Armored Core 3, you block most of the damage.
Yeah,
I think the energy shield can block an entire blade strike if they hit only the shield. But
yeah, it still mitigates a huge amount of it at any rate. I remember being a little bit bummed out when trying them out for the first time in AC2. I'm like, oh look, the intro says that they can completely block it, and it's like, yeah, well, it may have blocked like half of it, but that moonlight still murdered the Christ out of you. So
yeah. Well, I mean, admittedly, the AC that they showed was using the starter laser blade, so you know.
yeah. So I mean, it was relatively accurate, I guess, and they did hit it dead on. So I guess that's always been the question with most FromSoft games, like just how specific did they get with the hitbox? 'Cause it's pretty inconsistent as far as stuff goes. Like with the grenade launcher, it can hit just about anywhere and do about the same. With the blades, it's really specific about where it hits. Most guns aren't, but a lot of like rockets and things like that are location specific. It's weird.
There's also the like in all up until Gen 4. What style of what style of AC, of like what kind of legs you're using? I think it's actually the same in Armored Core 4. Actually, now that I think about it, like what kind of legs you're using determines how your blade attacks.
Yeah.
So like midweights do the horizontal slash, lightweights do the diagonal slash. Heavyweights, I think, also do the diagonal slash. I might be wrong.
Yeah, they just get the standard.
The standard horizontal slash.
Oh man.
Tanks and quads have the stab.
Oh yeah, the stab was amazing. But dude, the best blade move throughout all of it, I still think has to go to like the 4th gen light reverse joints, like that awesome scissor move that they do.
Oh yeah,
so
I
cool.
love doing that.
They probably
it's
chop their
awesome,
arms
even
off.
if it's even if it's impractical and like actually hitting with it is possible. But
Yeah. But yeah, no, they would totally chop their own arms off. That's the only issue.
yeah,
Actually, you know, the blade arms in third gen and all that would have been so much better if you could just like run up and do like a double like just forward stab on any legs. That would have made those things actually worthwhile.
But yeah, they're stuck to no matter what leg you're using. They're stuck to.
Well, no, those still adjust for blade type. I'm just saying it would be nice to be able to use the stab as other blade types as kind of their gimmick.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting.
I wonder if it's possible to do with mods.
Have like Lancer blade arms kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to check if
this fight's interesting. It goes on forever.
Yeah, they're really going down to the wire here. So I mean, they're doing an excellent job here, just dodging everything from each other. Just all the parts littering about the entire map.
I think that's pretty interesting.
An interesting
Can
thing.
you imagine if Silent Line had body part destruction as well as weapon?
That would have been amazing. Actually, if they did that properly as a mechanic, like if they properly balanced it and everything, it could potentially be really good. Because one thing that Silent Line multiplayer started that unfortunately never got revisited in the entire series is, like for example, where you could drop some of your weapons at the very start and just go back and pick them up later. I think in Nexus and Last Raven you might be able to do that in some versions of the multiplayer, but I just mean in terms of, you know, you don't want it to get destroyed, so you put it down and then you just kind of do this roguelike thing where it's like, yeah, it can't get blown up on the ground. But, you know, you
That's
come
fair.
back later for it.
AO loses the first one out of time because he had lower AP.
Yeah.
That's okay. We know how this ends with Monger.
Yeah, we should do unlimited time next time, if that's an option.
Well, I think having it set to 5 minutes kind of puts the pressure really about.
Yeah. Well, okay, if we end up doing a Last Raven one at some point, we should at least set the time to unlimited, because for that one, there's no
Last
pressure.
Raven unlimited, because 5 minutes isn't enough for a proper fight in Last Raven. Oh, so many
Play away at each
missiles
other.
in this match.
Oh, this is beautiful. America.
It makes me, as a Gen 4 player, kind of nostalgic seeing all these missiles flying about.
You ever see that Formula Front video from a little bit ago?
Yeah, I've seen that. That's ridiculous.
Triple Hydra. Oh man, that mess was amazing.
I think obviously the best that Armored Core has ever gotten as far as missile spam, legitly, is Gen 4.
Oh yeah, 4 answer
Yeah,
especially.
two wheelings on the back, and then you get the wheeling on the shoulders. And
Yeah.
just a stream of missiles that just doesn't stop.
Are the wheelings the buildings on the shoulder? That one?
Yeah, those. They fire 16 missiles per barrage. And then you've also got the shoulder wheelings, which fire 64 missiles per barrage. And they have enough missiles to do 3 barrages. Oh, they're so amazing. But yeah,
By the way,
of course.
Sorry, go ahead.
Did my mic die again?
No,
Or-
I was just saying I hope that random noise doesn't come through. I think a neighbor's drilling into a wall or something.
I hadn't heard anything yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this is where Monger beats the yellow punching ticket.
Goodbye, Pimp Knight. He finally goes
Monger
down.
had more missiles.
See, that's how you win wars, you know. Eventually, logistics end up winning out. All right.
Which is why the United States will never be invaded, at least not in my generation, anyway. Who knows? That might change. Anyway.
As the saying always goes, if the U.S. ever falls, it'll be from the inside. It's
That it
probably
will.
the most uninvadable place on Earth for a lot of reasons.
I think,
It's,
yeah.
just landmass,
Oof,
people,
oof.
resources. It's yeah. Good luck with that.
Monger's taking a beating from Darkslayer's Dark Jedi build.
Yeah, a little bit surprising how much damage he's getting in here. Actually, I would have expected
I
this thing
believe,
to
he
hold up
actually
better.
is able to beat, I believe he's actually able to beat Monger. I might be wrong.
I mean, at this rate, he's got enough of an AP lead that he should be able to just win a direct fight, especially if he's doing this kind of stuff. But I'm just
Well,
surprised.
The thing is, the Darkslayer's build is a midweight, and a point-blank shotgun blast can do 500 AP or more.
Yeah, true.
And like even just a spread shotgun, the shotguns are actually really good in Silent Line.
Yeah.
Left arm.
Your mic's cutting out a little bit, by the way.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Discord, stop being useless. Discord.
Alright. I'm trying. So there we go. Yeah, they're getting super close though.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
But I was just surprised to see with shields and those legs specifically how much 800 MG was actually getting through here. Because the Monger's
the 800 MG is the best MG ever. Like ever since it was introduced, it stays that way. Well, the 1000 MG just doesn't have the firepower.
Well, their firepower is the same. It's its accuracy that gets jacked up. It's the weight and accuracy.
That is actually wrong. The 800 MG has like 1 attack power. The 1000 MG has 105 attack power per bullet.
Well, I mean, it's a slight difference, but yeah. Consider them comparable. By the way...
Yeah, I guess the bigger thing is the accuracy. Ooh.
By the way, the sound going on, that's from the video. This was actually one of the ones that apparently was running into weird sound issues while recording.
Ah, okay.
Let's go ahead
and... Yeah, the PSP emulator can be kind of weird.
Let's go ahead and hit that mute button for a little bit, because that is pretty unpleasant to listen to.
Ooh, did you see that huge damage burst right there?
Yeah, he got him good.
The 4-shot shoulder missiles do a lot of damage, the extension.
Yeah, those things hurt. Like they combine really well with the dual missiles and stuff like that. But triple missiles, I mean, there's no possible saying that they're not the best. They're just so good. They've got all the ammo, got all the damage, got all the accuracy.
Rifles doing damage.
Yeah, putting in work here.
Pulling off some 4 answers stuff here. Overboosting away all the time and just slamming out rifle shots.
It's beautiful.
You know, I don't think AO did a lot of work with the pulse cannon in this his build.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I think he only pulled it out like once or twice during all the fights. It's just kind of a pressure weapon. It's almost like he used it as a feint.
So we're now on to the final between AO and Darkslayer from AO's perspective. We'll be doing Darkslayer's perspective next. This is going to be probably the longest tournament video, but
yep. Man,
hey, it's the finale,
though,
so
that first missile dodge, wow.
Dick dodge, yeah.
It's like goodbye all your damage. Yeah, pulling out all the rifle shots here. This guy's actually set up pretty well to actually deflect those rifle shots.
Oh, look at that! Oh man, that initial like missile hit that did so much damage. It put him in the lead, and then he just bam. The Nymphy, or it's not called the Nymphy here. The Nymphy's still a good missile launcher even in this game.
Yeah, the pod missile. I mean, it's a little circular pod, but
it's the best missile in Nexus: The Last Raven by far for just the sheer reason that it locks on so fast.
And you get a fair amount of missiles with it too. I think it's like 2nd or 3rd place in terms of how many missiles you get. Oof, yeah. Man, that rifle tracking. That was solid right there.
There's some very good cooling on this build because it got over 400 degrees and it's not cooking.
Yeah, the only downside is if he does get overheated, he's going to be burning the rest of the fight.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about overheating in Silent Line. Your cooling raises the bar for how high you have to get before you overheat. But once you reach that, you then start taking heat damage until your temperature reaches 0, which is a little bit broken.
Funnily enough,
I'm glad.
It's an interesting turn that they took here, but they basically removed that for the sake of Armored Core for pretty much all the rest of the games. But then they brought it back for Dark Souls, because that's exactly how it works there.
Really? They have a Well, obviously it's not heat, obviously, but it's
No,
something
it's like
similar.
for all debuffs, so poison, bleed, toxic, etc. You basically get a bunch of things where every item that you get that resists that thing just increases the size of your bar. But then, like, God
Oh.
forbid you get like toxic that's all the way across your screen, you're basically going to be bleeding out health for the next 3 hours.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good to know. I'm so glad we finally got a proper yes, Armored Core is happening from Miyazaki
Right?
in the interview.
Man, it's
Did you see that single missile finished him
yeah,
off?
the simplest of
And
weapons
that
finally
the simplest of weapons.
comes in for
And
the win.
so we're gonna go to Darkslayer's perspective now, as soon
Let's
as
see
it
what happened.
loads.
Have I had the mouse on here the whole time? I'm sorry. That's called I don't know what I'm doing. But all right.
Yeah, we're definitely professionals.
Yes, yes. You know that's why they pay me the no bucks. Um,
All right, I'm ready. I'm at 0.
I am at definitely not 0, and definitely did not
Uh,
completely overlook that. I'm at 16 seconds right now. Sorry.
okay.
Uh, it'll
It took it for. All right, continuing. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, there we go. Sound's fixed on his side, so we got the sound going back. That blade doing nothing against that shield. Interestingly, by the way, I think the shield actually extends their hitbox a little bit, so that might be why he ends up glancing off so many hits. Because anything that extends the lockbox or hitbox rather, and changes it in any way, has a tendency to cause the blade to just not know what to do in that situation. And he does fluke a lot of blade hits in this one.
Huh? How about that? So yeah, from Darkslayer's perspective, he was dominating from the get.
You cut
He
out
had
for
better
that one.
mobility. Oh, damn it! God damn it, Discord. What I was saying is that Darkslayer was dominating this fight pretty much from the get-go because he has the slightly better weapon setup and certainly the better mobility option because of the overboost.
Yeah,
That's something I really like about Sign is overboost is a actual practical option.
Yeah, you kind of have to build all the way to it for the other games.
And then, like with with Armored Core 2, it was still overheating was practically non-existent in Gen 2.
Well, until you ended up
but,
hitting somebody like 1,400 times, and then they were just bleeding out for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, typically they're probably dead by that point. So
yeah, it was. I mean, it was a nice attempt to put in a pressure mechanic. It's basically all they were going for, which is why it eventually became stagger. It's like the goal was the same.
But the overboost got nerfed super hard in Nexus because you would basically overheat if you tried.
There were a few interesting PvP fights that I saw though for Nexus in particular. That were, I don't know. It was a while ago, so I don't know if they're still up. But it was kind of like in the area of crappy, grainy footage from tournaments and whatnot. And there were a few people that did kind of like a Nexus version of the burner build, where they kind of just set themselves up in a way where they're expecting to lose health the entire time, but then just like overboost and continuously slam with all kinds of powerful weapons and everything. Specifically, dual shotguns seemed pretty popular for one of them, which shotguns were actually really good in Nexus. Mostly because of that overheat.
But in Nexus they're pretty decent, which is really bizarre because you'd think they'd have the same kind of mechanics between the two games, but
yeah, they made some slight tweaks. One of the reasons that they were so strong in Nexus is just because they could follow up really well from how much heat they ended up putting out, and then because cooling got
because like
overall.
Heat damage, like Last Raven, among other issues, heat damage is a constant problem. But in Nexus, heat damage is like the biggest threat to the player.
Yeah, so like high cooling, friggin' high heat weapons are just the go-to. And it's interesting because it kind of sort of crept into Formula Front of all things, just because the AI didn't know how to manage its heat at all. So you only had that one bar that basically said, "Would you like to cheat at cooling?" So naturally, the answer was yes. Please cheat at cooling.
There was also, of course, the fact that they removed the radiator extensions from
well, those things
Nexus
are trash anyway.
Yeah, but at least for like if they had kept them in Formula front, the AI could have put use to them.
Yeah,
You know?
if they had redone them, that would have been great. But from what I can figure out, like I was doing a little bit of testing on randomizer runs a little while ago, and for early third gen, the reason they don't work is because it seems like both the energy and radiator things essentially just kind of scale off of whatever you already have. So, for example, the local equivalent of the Jira in this case just kind of doubled whatever energy you had. That's why if you were already in the red, it did next to nothing, but you could max out your bar once it was halfway. So if you ever see speedruns of people mashing those things early, that's pretty much why. It's about a third of the way down the bar that's the ideal mark for it. But then you get the cooling ones, and it seems like they only, I think it only reduced your heat by 30% or something. But either way, it was, by and large, it was just functionally worthless, because it never actually got you out of overheating.
Good to know. I found the energy extensions always useful no matter the game, so...
Yeah, they were definitely better utilized in later games, but yeah.
That energy is like so much more precious in the later Gen 3 games.
Yep. Yeah, in early third gen. Oh, good.
It's because in early Gen 3, you regenerate your energy so much faster than everything else, just in general, and getting overheated doesn't mean your generator output is immediately cut in half. It's like I don't know how much the generator output decrease affects in Armored Core 3 and Silent Line, but it's clearly not a lot.
It's like 20 or 30%, something like that. I know they use 30% for a lot of things, so it probably was around that point.
And we get to see a big chunky yellow perspective when he gets beaten.
The Pimp Knight story.
All those triple missiles, man, they're just racking up.
Missiles everywhere.
And now he's burning for life.
Burn, baby, burn. Chunky Inferno.
Orbit cannons are an interesting weapon that I feel have never been really properly utilized in the games.
Depended where. So, they were really useful as a distraction in later third gen. But dude, in Formula Front, they can be one of the best things if the AI uses them right. Specifically, there was one build from a little bit ago that somebody put in Orbit Arm. Actually, wait, was it mine? I think it might have been mine. That it was Orbit Arms with the kind of turret cannon type things on the back and an EO. And yeah, basically it would just like fire out 6 orbits that are circling around, plus it would fire the 2 on the back. So this thing's just getting fired at from all directions constantly and doesn't know what to do. It just looks so pretty.
Well, yeah, like I feel orbit cannons could have their orbit cannons besides the tiny little probe that shoots little pulse blasts. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Cow's Siege Rudder?
Yes, I have.
That was a pretty good utilization of them. Like, it was just basically pressuring with rockets while pressuring with, or rather, doing damage with rockets, and I think it was EO as well while doing pressure with orbit arms. But they're a pressure weapon. They suppress as they should. They're not really there for damage. They're there for panic.
That's fair. I can kind of understand why they took them out, and there's no way they want to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
And there's the giant yellow turd has been. Monger is just a frightening AC.
Oh, you know what? I just noticed something. They actually kind of did come back now that I think about it. Not in the same way though. I guess.
Well, yeah, in Gen 5 you have the.
Yeah, the shoulder guns, and the turrets.
And then you have the auto attack gun.
Yeah. So you could potentially.
Well, I consider the auto attack guns as more of a the EO kind of thing.
Man, if they released Verdict Day on PC, I would run the ever-loving Christ out of that game. Like, it's pretty darn good. Like, I may not be amazing at the multiplayer. I think in a tournament I've only won like 2 fights, but still, I managed to blade a guy, so I was pretty happy about that.
That's fair. I'm not very good at. Well, I'm okay. I'm I would say I'm average, but I don't really have anybody. So
Yeah, you cut out after average.
I consider myself average, but I don't really have a metric to measure against. So
I consider
'cause the
myself below average but
multiplayer's
enthusiastic.
pretty dead. So that and like I was real big into Gen 5 during Armored Core 5. And then when Verdict Day came out and they changed everything and all the strategies I employed that I had been taught how to use didn't work.
Yeah, that was a little bit
So-
of a downer. When, like, specifically there was, oh man. So,
Monger
My-
defeated.
my favorite thing from AC5, did you ever do like a chicken kick jumper?
I did a tank rammer. Does that count?
Okay, so here's the thing. It was basically just like 2 shields and a chain gun on relatively heavily armored heavy reverse joint. And then the idea was literally just like run around with 2 shields and try to kick somebody in the face over and over. Oh man, I loved it. Like as soon as the shield breaks, you would break out the guns. It was so much more effective in 5 than it was in Verdict Day. God, that was fun. It was like my
Well,
favorite multiplayer
considering
moment.
shields didn't exist in 5.
No, Verdict Day. That's what I'm talking about. So,
Okay, yeah.
but yeah, actually, no wait, yeah, the double shields were in Verdict Day. I think it was just chain guns in 5. Didn't it? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been
Yeah,
a minute. I just remember kicking people in the face a whole bunch. But
I do find it, one thing I don't really like in Gen 5, they changed all the machine guns to all Gatling guns all the time.
yeah, I mean, you had the heat MGs, which kind of tried to serve the original role, but eh. And
But anyway, obviously, different skills translate differently from different AC games, and Darkslayer trying with that blade, man, it is just not working out for him.
yeah,
Not
last
against
ditch.
rifle spam.
Last ditch effort. Like I can just still do it somehow. Finally back to 4 degrees Celsius. Apparently everybody's thrown away the Imperial system by this point.
And ooh, that was a lot of missiles to the face.
Yeah.
Good thing he's already at low AP. It's like that many missiles probably would have done like 1,000 AP worth of damage, I think, especially against midweight.
Yeah. God, there's so many of them. Come to think of it, it would be funny to see a tournament with no missiles whatsoever.
Just have a tournament. Only rule: no missiles allowed.
Right? And then you just see, like, friggin' somebody come in with large rockets and a parry blade. Oh,
That
man.
would be hilarious, but the parry blades are very niche weapons in Gen 3,
See,
so...
I want to see, like, I wish that they had some developer diaries or something for that one, because I want to see the guy that looked at the concept for the parry blade, like, okay, so it's a melee weapon. It takes like 3 seconds to charge up and fire. This seems overpowered. You know what? We need to make it heat up the user too. I want to know who that guy was.
Wait, does it do that?
Yeah, it overheats you. Like, if you end up using the Mars, you get like friggin' 300 heat added to you, like, instantly. You can't continuously use any of them because you'll friggin' overheat yourself just using the stupid thing.
That's weird. All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a constant problem during the parry blade run. Actually, I should probably redo that because I was back in like the ye old sucky quality days. But still, but yeah, still like constantly ended up running into overheat issues because the stupid thing kept overheating me.
That's weird. All right, well,
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah,
They
they're even
fixed
worse
it
than you thought.
Before, where parry blades were amazing, which were just one-hit kill, insta-death pokes.
Well,
And
I mean,
pretty
given
much the
Pro
same
Cow-
thing in Gen 5. The heat pile drivers are just as bad
Oh,
as they are in
there's-
Gen 4.
Oh man,
When I say
those
just
things.
as bad, I mean they're amazingly powerful.
Oh, I know. Like, I ended up keeping a heat pile on my main build for the most part. Let's see, for my main one, I think I ultimately settled on like a light laser rifle, regular rifle, and a heat pile and a shield. with some plasma missiles in the shoulder. And yeah, that friggin' thing was like the last ditch. Okay, I've clearly screwed up this fight because I'm bad at the game. It's time to go get lucky by poking somebody in the friggin' leg. And it's amazing how often that worked. It should not have worked that often.
Dark Slayer, 126 health versus AO, and AO's just can't land a rifle hit at this point. And there it is, that final missile.
That one missile is the true MVP of this tournament.
It was, however, a very good.
Yeah, it was a very good fight. Very good way to finish this off. Are you still there, by the way? I think you just cut off suddenly. Hello? Well, I mean, I guess we're done there for now. I don't know what happened to Mr. Siphon, but all right. Awesome tournament. You know, thank you for watching, and we hope to have another one soon here. So take care. Oh, wait, whoops. There we are. Fixed. All right, see you next time. Take care.